Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Japan travel series. We spent 10 days in Japan, which were absolutely fascinating, even feeling out of the world at times. Come join us in this series where we take you through details like visa, public transport, food, our itinerary, including popular places to visit and some offbeat things to do. So, let's go explore the land of rising sun together. But first, do subscribe to our channel for lots more Japan travel stories. We were super excited to travel to Japan as it was somewhat spontaneous. The trip was always a dream. So one day, we decided let's visit Japan in autumn, and here we were, boarding our All Nippon Airlines flight to Tokyo Haneda International Airport. This was a direct 8-hour flight from New Delhi, India. There is also the Narita International Airport in Tokyo with several frequent flights from across the globe. However, for us, Haneda was better, and after a comfortable 8 hours flight, we landed at Tokyo. We got a 15 days Japan tourist visa from India. We did the whole application process ourselves without involving an agent. It was quite simple, and we have explained the entire process in our blog that you can find in the description link below. As soon as we reached Tokyo, our first mission was to get a Suica card. This prepaid card would help us through most of our trip, as all we had to do was recharge it and just swipe it for most trains and buses. This card can also be used in some prominent convenience stores as a means of payment. You can top up your Suica card for about 10,000 to 20,000 yen to begin with. Remember, Suica card does not work for some trains like the Shinkansen bullet train and other special fast trains. You can also check out the JR Rail Pass option. We found the Suica card to be more reasonable and easy, so we got it from the airport itself. Public transport in Japan is super efficient. Be equipped with Japan Transit app and Google Maps. It gives you the exact know-hows of which train line or bus to take to reach your destination within Japan. We were absolutely hooked to this our entire trip, as it made our public transit navigation seamless through the country. When you are in Japan, you must be prepared to walk a lot. All the places are well connected through trains, but walking is a must between stations as taxis are very expensive. In fact, do travel light when in Japan, as there is a high possibility you will be carrying your luggage when you switch trains. We had to carry our bags when we were going to different cities in trains or other modes of public transport. Japan does have a coin locker system at most big stations, which allows you to keep your luggage and explore the city freely. In Japan, there is an unsaid rule of being silent, especially when traveling in public transport. So do remember to follow order. We started navigating public transport from the airport itself and hopped onto a train. We took the KQ airport line from Haneda Airport to Shinagawa Station. From there, we were to take another short train ride to a smaller area called Suginami. The train crossed parts of Tamar River, which was so clean and spotless. It made our day immediately. We stayed in a quiet neighborhood called Suginami, which was a 40-minute train ride to popular hubs like Shinjuku or Shibuya. This worked out cheaper for us instead of staying right in the heart of the city. On our first day in Tokyo, we checked out the digital art Team Lab Borderless experience at Azabudai Hills. Again, to reach here, we followed the Japan Transit app and took a train that led us to this destination. Team Lab Borderless experience is a paradise for every design or art enthusiast. The entry costed approximately 5,000 yen per person. We booked the experience online for a slight discount, and we will drop the link in description below if you would like to book it too. The artworks are digital and they react to the presence and movements of visitors, creating a highly immersive experience. Also, there is no map to navigate the museum. This is intentional as you need to just walk around experiencing one art piece after another. Here are some of our favorite art presentations. The Infinite Crystal World completely blew us away. The light-changing magical crystals were stunning. Along with the hanging shimmering lights that changed while interacting with visitors. These installations looked like an absolute digital fairy tale. Another favorite for us was the Sketch Ocean, an interactive art piece where visitors draw themselves and see their drawings come to life swimming or flying on the digital wall called the Sketch Ocean. I used my creative abilities to draw a turtle with our names on it and tried catching it as it floated through the sea of digital art.
Flip it.
All you have to do is hand over your physical drawing and get it scanned. Wait for a moment and watch your drawing appear on the walls alongside several others. This was a super interactive and fun art engagement piece. Our next top pick was a Parade of Rabbits installation. This piece was odd, quirky, and highly creative. We could see frogs, rabbits, musicians all parading in a whimsical manner, moving from room to room. The black and white feel gave it a minimal elegance. experience the tea house when you are at Team Lab Borderless. You can order your choice of tea and experience the flowers bloom around you and inside your teacup as the tea is being poured. The whole experience is a delight for all your senses. There were a lot of other amazing digital art which was fluid, dynamic, and ever changing. From Team Lab Borderless, we took a train to one of the most vibrant areas of Tokyo, Shinjuku. After getting down at the main Shinjuku station, we took the west exit and found the iconic Omoide Yokocho, which is the old and narrow alley filled with small bars, eateries, and open-air market. The nostalgic atmosphere, sizzle from skewers, and loud chatter of locals and tourists sitting close to each other was a sight to behold. Omoide Yokocho emerged from the bombed-out ruins of Shinjuku after World War II. This place was originally called the Lucky Street, a black market where people sold clothes and other necessary goods. Over time, the stalls became cozy little traditional bars and eateries called izakayas we see today. Even today, the shops are separated by a single door or are built with shared walls. We had some delicious skewers and sake in an open tiny izakaya and couldn't have been happier. This iconic alley of Tokyo is an absolute must-visit for anyone who travels to Japan. Our next stop in Tokyo was to visit the Shibuya district, one of the largest sub-centers of Tokyo alongside Shinjuku. Shinjuku and Shibuya are very easily connected through the JR Yamanote line. In Shibuya, we checked out the Shibuya Scramble Crossing, the largest and busiest pedestrian crossing in the world. This iconic scramble is a symbol of Tokyo's fast pace, energy, and discipline, where so many people are seen together in this organized chaos. Oh, and we got to do an experimental photo shoot at this very busy center, which turned out to be quite interesting. Our next stop was one of the coolest buildings we have ever seen. Tokyo Plaza Harajuku Harakado is in the heart of Harajuku, a well-known center for fashion, shopping, and the kawaii culture in Tokyo. The plaza is made of glass and light. Its mirrored walls reflect the city, moving and changing with the streets around it. Its iconic half-eaten or broken look is creative genius. The plaza was not just incredible from the outside, but also from the inside. The designs, store displays, and architecture inside was stunning and extremely creative. We even saw an art display alongside the shops. Well, Tokyo is a city of vibrant energy where tradition and innovation move in sync. In its beautiful chaos, we felt the magic of a city that never stops inspiring. After spending 2 days in Tokyo, it was time for us to continue our Japan adventure and move to the next destination. Our next stop was all the way to a tiny city in northernmost Japan called Asahikawa. Stay tuned as we travel together to this amazing destination to see Japan in its most stunning autumn colors. Keep watching for lots more Japan tales and local travel content.